Hello everybody and welcome once again to the Team Gentlemen's Racing Club. My name is Simon Smith, and as ever on these Monday evenings, not only is it in the old English town of Harlow where I am based, it's also another hot night of entertainment here for you sim racing lovers here at the Norisring for round 6 of this season 13 championship. As ever, I'm never doing this alone. I've got Simon Melhuish, who is our race director and cameraman extraordinaire. If he has any more hands, then I think we'll call him Spider-Si. Do-do-do, do-do-do. Does whatever a sim racer can. We're just moving forward into the qualifying session. Now into the second half firmly of this season. To quickly run through the weights that we've got penalty-wise attached. Martin Palm's got 60, Bonus Boliaric 39, Ilja Bracalo 34, Rainer Room 33, Rainer Muru 18, Hans-Peter Mead 11, Carlo Williamson 10, Ihaba Bass 4 and Randu Muru 1. And then in the D2 category, Cameron Brewster 55, Paul Joseph 35, Dave Robertson 30, Stuart Fleming 20, Lee McLaughlin 16, James Kirk 8 and James Ross with 3. And the 10-minute qualification for round 1, where we get to set the grid for what will be the rest of the evening's entertainment, is underway, and James Kirk is the first one that's out and about down into turn 1. And yeah, the Murus are indeed teammates at TTFR. That's the first time they've ever been teammates in their entire sim racing history, so that should be interesting. Stuart Fleming has already spun on his outlap down at turn 1. That won't help him at all. That may lay down a little bit of rubber for the rest of them, but I'm surprised the amount of people who have immediately gone out to try and hit out a lap and go for it. James Kirk in P23 is going to be our first man across the line to start going again. A lot of people talking very much about where the definitive lines are, as ever with GRC rules. If there's a curb, don't go over it with your 4 wheels. If there's not, then try and respect the barriers as best as possible as the drivers now start to flick across the line. Surprising the amount of drivers that are out there. Let's see if that causes them an issue as they start to plough down into turn 1. As Mr. Kirk himself walks speed out of 1 and around someone pushing right the way out to the outside lines for the chicane. Had the pleasure of when I actually decided to pop on and do my own little running session very briefly. The TSA guys were on the server at the time, and James Kirk was 23rd in the warm-up and was the last guy within a second. The top 23 covered by a second here. Very short circuit here, the Norisring. Just really 4 particular corners, of which one of those, or 2 of those, is part of the chicane. And Kirk straight the way out of the last kink curve. And he sets the base mark time, which will be a 58.518, slower than what they were doing in practice, and straight to a halt as well, so that would help him out. Mark Bowger immediately goes quicker with a 57.9, and the times come tumbling in. Joseph goes second, Amance goes third, Kirk down to 4 behind Rainu Muru, who's not done particularly well. Ihaba Bass goes second for Union Motorsports Inc. Stuart Fleming goes in 7 ahead of Cameron Brewster and Miles Dixon. So a lot of people not quite hitting their marks, although Miles Dixon was the slowest in the practice sessions for Cookie Monster Racing. Got to be careful on their way back into the pits as well, as Mirko Wenzel for Online Motorsport pops up into pole position provisionally with a 57 seconds, .664, 2 temps clear of the rest, as Lucas Gabrielascus goes 9th for Art Kart. And that's pretty much the first wave done, as Titus Baselis goes 3rd. And I can see Kevin Buddy out in P23 going around for Williamson GP. I saw getting into all kinds of trouble in the practice sessions. Not quite sure what he'll make of the 20-lap races that we've got here. But he's 6 temps down already, and that will still put him on course for a current position in the top 10, depending how he deals with that final curve. As Hans-Peter Mead pops up into 4th in the second of the Online Motorsport cars. They always do better when they're both here. Carlo Williamson goes 5th, where's his teammate going to pop in 3rd? That was a great final sector there. He clawed back 2 temps. That will do quite nicely for Kevin, who hopefully will learn a little bit more about staying on the black stuff this So Reino Room for Team Estonia, doing very, very well. Last time out in Silverstone, battling up for the podium positions. This time, what can he do around a completely different nature of track? Very claustrophobic. I personally love it. It reminds me of a little tiny go-kart track, or like the kind of thing that you would have as a sim racer's kind of, I don't know, Mario Kart circuit. It's awesome. As he comes into the chicane, you practically aim for the exit barriers on your way out, especially in the second half. You want to almost clip them. Not quite those. He runs right the way out to the outside line across the old pavement. He's just coming over the sector 2 point now, and that will do nicely. Just a 2 tenths down, but he's got a little bit deep into that, the final of the 2 hairpins. Cut the line of least resistance around the final corner. Where will this pop him? Maybe around 3rd or 4th. Second. Oh, he clawed it back just 45 thousandths of a second behind Merkel Wenzel. He wasn't about last time round. As Martin Palm starts his lap off. Randu Muru, where did he pop in? He's gone provisional pole for 57.492. The benchmark is moving. What can Martin Palm do? He's got a lot of weight on his hands. But to be fair, he's dealt with a lot of weight over the season itself. He's got 60 kilograms, which is the most that you can have as a driver. So he's proper having to chunk it about. If he was a goonie, that would be his name. And you can tell because he's kind of wish-washing around the apexes and up against the wall once again, doing it so often in practice. Both he and Borna were kind of almost practicing how they would kind of race each other and deal with the drafts, I think, because they know that everyone's going to be so close together when it comes to the racing session. A lot tighter into that hairpin, so much better exit potentially. But nope, into the wall. Round the final turns, this could well be damaging for Palm. What can he do as he crosses over the line? He'll pop into position 5. Good save. That could have been so much worse. Another 2 tenths slower and he would have been 10th. That is how close it is here. The entire field currently separated by 1.5 seconds. The only guy out there on a hot lap at the moment, James Ross, down in P26 for TTF Racing. He's got to get out of the way for Stankiewicz. And James Ross trying to ascend the order in a Division 2 championship. He's got a little bit of penalty weight, but not very much at all compared to a lot of his rivals. And now that he's come away from being an independent and has joined a team, TTF, ooh, just about clipping the outside of the wall. That won't help his cause at all. If you're going to hit the wall, you might as well try and go in a pretty much vertical line against the barrier. So he comes out of the final turn. An exceptional lap so far for James Ross. Just the 3 tenths down. What can he do as he comes across the line? Because this could potentially be a top 5, top 3 placing. He goes 6th, just behind Martin Palm. An exceptional lap there by James Ross, by far the highest he's ever done. Lee McLaughlin follows him up with a 7th position. Both doing their personal best qualifying efforts regardless of what happens now, I think, as Andreas Stankiewicz in P24 now starts his lap for Torrent Motorsports Osiris, and that's an interesting line. So many different lines I've seen down into the first hairpin, especially because it's so bumpy under braking. You really struggle to keep it all together. Who's that popping up the order? I think that was Thomas Elias going 12th for Art Cart. Stankiewicz got his aims a little higher. He's staying well clear of the wall there, giving it plenty of room. I could have chucked Vanessa Phelps down in between those two and there would have been room for a spin. As they come down to the second of the hairpins, a bit like an elongated baked bean, I suppose this circuit is. A kidney bean. Once again, half of least effort round the final turn. Don't want to scrub any kind of lap time off that at all. And he goes P2, just 32 thousandths behind Randy Murray for TTFR. So once again, battle very much fully going. Who have we got that are still out to go? We've got Bracalo, Virox, Spoljaric and Frith yet to pop in their times, and just over 1.5 minutes to do it. Who's going to be the first one across the line to have a go? I think it's going to be Spoljaric, yes indeed. P26 for Torrent Motorsports Simmons Skins. Very, very crucial to get a decent exit into your starting lap, which he has done indeed. He's got less weight this time than Martin Palm. It's not very often that Spoljaric is the skinnier beaver than the rest. That'll do quite nicely as he... Ooh, nice tight line in for a good exit. Oh. I thought he wasn't going to bother turning there and just crest the wall in a slightly excruciating BDSM type way. Ooh, but a bit leery through the chicane, held it well together, but again he just about misses the wall, but only by the skinniest of slithers. But once again Larry does it, and let's see what this can do for Spoljaric as he comes down under braking into the final chicane, locked up again, missed the curb nicely. Some people in practice were going inside that curb, not really the done thing. Very tight on the final turn. Across the line he goes. 20 seconds left to go in the session, and that goes P3, just 0.136 seconds off of pole position. But Ilja Bracalo looks like he could well be taking top spot for Toronto Motorsport Mobile. Ooh, maybe not now. That was a bit of a smasheroo into the final barrier. Who's that popping up? That was Verox, now gone into pole for the time being. Ilja Bracalo, was that enough? No, it's not. 7 tenths down in 6th position. That all went in the final hairpin. Henry Verox, though, half a second clear of everyone else for Team Estonia, and it's still stunning lap there for him. Just frith left to go, but as he crosses round into the final hairpin, it looks like he's broken way too early, though. I'm not quite sure what happened there. But wow, Henry Verox, of course he's got no weight penalty, so this could very well play a part in it. But Team Estonia's Henry Verox, let's frith cross the line. Where is he going to pop in? 27. Yeah, the only person to not break 1 minute. So plumb last for Tyrone, unfortunately. Henry Verox for Team Estonia, half a second clear of the rest of the field. Weight dependent, obviously, but still, nonetheless, an excellent lap for Andrew Murray. Second from Andreas Stankiewicz, Spoljaric, Marco Wenzel, Ilja Bracalo, Reino Room, Mark Voucher, Martin Palm and James Ross. Rounding out the top 10, stunning drive there by Ross. Pretty much you agreed for the spin. Again, exceptionally close as it came through the qualifying session. I thought we'd see a bit more of an opening up. If anything, the field closed even tighter. Verox, the clear exception. Wow, I think that sets us up for what is going to be an awesome evening. So we're just moving on to the warm-up session. Don't forget, you can get interactive with us here on the broadcast. We've got the chat room where we have two non-broadcast members in. We've got Kamikaze and some Dutch Tard popping us in. God knows who that could be. And if anyone in fact is getting a wee bit prepared for the broadcast, hop onto YouTube and type in Brick Vid Norisring 2009 for a cleverly done stop motion video of someone playing cars around their own paper Norisring. I did like that. Very cute. Cute is definitely the name of the game here. So the kinship, as we enter round 6 of 8 for Division 1, we of course had a complete turnaround. Martin Palm took the lead back from Borna Spoljaric. I can see a lot of people actually doing test starts on the straightaway. It's not very often I see that. Obviously people very much keen to make sure that this turn 1 isn't a complete carnage fest. But no, Martin Palm's got a 7-point advantage over Borna Spoljaric, and that is going to be very crucial to see what he can do with that, as once again the art carts crash into each other down at turn 1. I feel that's a self-fulfilling prophecy with those two at the moment. And that is due to the fact that Martin Palm has got 3 podiums over Spoljaric, despite them having both 3 wins apiece. Bracalo is third, just a further 36 seconds points back from Reino Murray. Reino Room is 5th, after collecting his win. Hans Peter Mead 6th and Kyril Aziz, who's not here today. Iab Abbas, Randu Muro and Thomas Inuas rounding out the 10 after his bizarre but quite exceptional win. The Division 2 standings have got Paul Joseph, who got reeled in slightly by Cameron Brewster last time out at Silverstone. The gap between those two currently standing at 39 points. Dave Robertson is third, a further 45 points back. Stuart Fleming fourth, then Liam McLaughlin, James Kirk, James Ross, Norman Bruce needs to make a return. I know he's away for a couple of races, but hopefully he'll be back with us soon. Paul Gardner, who's not here today, and Whoopke Hoekstra rounding out the top 10 there, although he's only 5 points ahead of Tyrone Frith, who I think Frith will be leapfrogging that into the top 10 today. Constructors wise, in Division 1, it's Torrent Motorsport Simmons Skins absolutely romping away. They've practically molested the rest of the field, with Torrent Motorsport Mobile second, TTFR third, OnlineMotorsport.com in fourth. Just 1 point between TTFR and OnlineMotorsport.com. That's going to be fascinating. And a further 5 points behind that is Team Estonia. So the battle for bronze, extremely on there. Union Motorsport Inc., Torrent Motorsport Osiris, Art Kart, English Racing Knights and Williamson GP round out the 10 constructors there. And there's only 9 constructors in Division 2 at the moment, with Team Core ahead of that one from the 6th Axis Racing, although only 31 points between the pair. Union Motorsport International is third, quite comfortably clear of the 6th Axis Racing Dyson 4. TTF are 5, Autobly Racing 6 ahead of Cookie Monster Racing 7, PPR 8. They've got no Baz Award here this evening. And Autosport Holland is 9 with 66 points. We'll see how that all unfolds. Of course, you can send me a tweet at Satoramon or at RFGRC or at Smelhuish as well. And Mr. Melhuish himself, who's busy telling the drivers, don't you dare. There'll be no restarts, he's warned. So take it easy into turn 1. Well, I have heard it happen before. I'm sure we'll have it happen again. If you don't go seaming in quite safe without your protection on, then you're going to end up the duff one way or another. If a driver calls a pile up, it will be a ban for the rest of the season. Oh, laying down the stakes. I'll tell you what, you don't get that kind of meatalicious in McDonald's.
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
And Kevin Buddy's disqualified himself already. As has Reinu Muru, as has Lucas Gabrielascus. As has SimRace.tv. I don't quite know what's happened there. Might have to sort that out. Oh, yeah, they're just doing a quick run round. Not quite sure what happened there, but never mind. We'll get it sorted. We're just running through again to get things going. A wee bit dodgeroo. And well, as we are on the broadcast, if anyone does do it wrongly into the first turn, their cock up, their arse. Oh, we're just sorting it out. Tell you what, I installed NASCAR 2003 yesterday. I'd forgotten how awesome a game it is. Big thumbs up. I was just watching a online thing, I think it's from the Real Giant Bomb. They're awful people at playing games, but they do seem to get all the juicy exclusives that go on. And they had the people from EU Technics down to talk about the new NASCAR game, and he was saying about how he worked at Papyrus, and then I thought, well, how could you have worked at Papyrus and then turfed out the multiplayer broken element that was NASCAR 2011, which didn't even get a UK release until last week. I imported that.
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid
Once
now.
again, DQ's at the ready, so not quite sure what's going on there. But yes, that does look quite fun. And there's quite a lot of new funky games coming out soon, isn't there? Because you've got F1 2012, obviously. God knows what will be changed on that. So far, all I've seen so far is a really pointless pre-driver test going on, which doesn't appeal to me at all. And the fact that they can have localized weather around a circuit. Woo. If that's all the update there is, I might seriously consider my purchase. But then you've got F1 Stars, which just looks like a real cute version. Like F1 Mario Kart. I'm really looking at getting that. I quite fancy that one. What else was coming out that I quite fancied as well? Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. I'm such an advocate of the first one. It's the best non-Mario Kart game. Better than Mod Nation Racers. Definitely. Better than... Probably the best one since Pac-Man Rally, which goes back to, what was that, 2004, 2005? Awesome game. So yes. All sounds good. And what was the other one? Oh, I got the beta for Little Big Planet Karting. And the game, I must say, feels very slow. But it was still good fun. Everyone keeps telling me about this DayZ game. Or DayZ. If you're English like myself. ZZ. You say potato, I say potato. I'm enjoying a 6-pack of Corona as I watch this, says some Dutch tard. I wish I had a 6-pack of Corona. I wish I had enough money to buy a 6-pack. Do you know, I've accidentally spent too much money this month. I have £2.52 to last me till payday, which is the 31st of July. I feel this may not work. Epic fail. The joke of it is that I'm supposed to be Ooh, is it going to work? Okay. They're supposed to be... yeah, it's only €7, NASCAR 2011. Awesome. I paid like £25 to get a disc version from America. And it doesn't even... When you go online, they just sort of go, oh, it's American. It's not you're not an American. You're slowing down. You're lagging. You're lagging. I can't do this. I can't do this. They get all like angry elf. Never mind. Yes, a lot of people have spoken about DayZ as being their most favourite game they've ever had, evers, in the world. I'm actually quite intrigued with it all, to be fair. But I may have to wait for a little while. So yeah, we'll see. Might have to wait a while though, because I had the old Steam summer sale. Thankfully though, I'd done summer sale from last year and possibly their winter sale as well, so there wasn't too much to deal with. But problem with me was I didn't really have any money to do it. In fact, boy in the chat room just saying I'm not really a gamer. I have to tell you, I'm not a gamer, but DayZ is really addictive. Sure she. Kamikaze, I haven't been on Steam since the old VW TCC days.
Non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
It looks like we're finally going to be ready to go. I do like Steam because they go the indie games. It's the indie games that get me all excited for and slightly wet under the armpits, you filthy lot. Seriously. But the wait is now over. We're going to go on the formation lap. See what's cooking. Henry Vierok lead us round for Team Estonia. Randu Murray will be alongside for TTFR Motorsports. Andreas Stankiewicz will start off row 2 for Torrent Motorsports Osiris alongside Borna Spoljaric for Torrent Motorsports Sim and Skins. Let's go racing boys indeed, boy. 5th, Marco Wenzel, Virgil Gummidge for Online Motorsports. 6th, Virgil Carlo for Torrent Motorsport Mobile. 7, Reino Rum, Team Estonia. No, don't hit each other on the formation lap, guys. Art Valja, 8, as an independent. Must not say Volva. 9, Martin Palm, Torrent Motorsport Sim and Skins. 10, James Ross for TTF. 11, Lee McLaughlin, 6th Axis Racing Dice. Great effort by him actually there. Should be shouted out. Kevin Buddy, 12 for Williamson GP. 13th, Titus Baselis for Intrepid Kart Technology. And someone is already off somewhere. Hans-Peter Mead is 14th, Carlo Williamson 15, Thomas Anio is 16 for Art Kart. We have a Bass 17 for Union Motorsport Inc. I think it may be Marvin Amant has lost his front bumper somewhere along the line. No, he's still got it in place. I'm trying to work it out. But Paul Joseph is 18, Marvin Amant's 19, Thomas Anewis has decided to get beached on the curve. He's got going again now. James Kirk is 20th. Reino Murray 21st for TTFR. Stuart Fleming Team Core 22nd, the only Team Core. Oh no, Lucas Gabrielaskas 23rd, Cameron Brewster 24th. Dave Robertson is there, 25th, and the second of the Team Core drivers. Miles Dixon 26th. Tyrone Frith nearly spinning out the final corner for 27th position as the cars line themselves up. But yeah, there's a couple of people slightly sitting out of position as they went round there. I'm trying to work out who's lost their front bumper, but they all look like they're intact to me at the moment. But there was definitely some bodywork down there. Oh, it's Reino Rum. He's decided to start from pit lane. So Reino Rum, not good for him. Obviously didn't leave enough room at all by the time that all ticked along. The grid slowly forming itself up at the back. They need to sort themselves out and get going because the lights haven't even started coming on yet. Come on, peeps, let's get cooking. They're all there now. And here come the lights. At last, GRC Season 13 at the Norisring Round 6 is go. a variety of different getaways going on up and down the field. I can see some real stonkers towards the rear, but Virok looks like he's going to be taken by Randu Muru, but he's going to have the inside line as they do the drag race down to the hairpin at turn 1. This is where the carnage is going to happen. Who's going to do it? Stanky Vicious goes in very, very deep as they're all collected in the middle. It's the gosh, oh my goodness me! Thomas and Ewis gets smacked from behind by a Williamson GP car. I think it must have been Buddy, because he does seem to be involved in all the carnage that's going on. I can see some bumpers are missing. The back end of the field actually looks relatively okay, but unfortunately there were some bits of car missing from other drivers, but they do all appear to be running, as Miles Dixon has made up 4 places. But Stanky Vicious dives up into the lead by sheer banzai move. As look at Wenzel, they're under attack by Randu Muru, but Wenzel holds the position and Muru down to 4th. There's problems at the back there. Lee McLaughlin being pushed out wide, but he's ended up in 9th by going around the outside of Kevin Buddy. Mark Voucher's going down the field. Look at Carlo, oh, it's Carlo Williamson. My apologies to Kevin Buddy, it's Williamson who's lost his front bumper altogether and is losing a lot of straight line speed. As look at that 3-4 wide further down the field. Stanky Vicious, Virok, Wenzel going in deep. Is he going to make it round the corner? Muru's doing it. Oh my goodness me! Titus Bacelis smashes into Boulder Spoljaric among other cars. Round goes the Williamson cars again, and this time it is Buddy who's buggering it up for everyone else. Come on Kev, get going. James Kirk caught up in that for no particular reason. He's kind of got himself going. Reinu Muru is having trouble too. It looks like he's leaped. There's some kind of connection problem for Muru, and that may well have set it all off. Bumpers are all over the shot. Stanky Vicious still leads from Virok, Wenzel, Muru, Spoljaric, Bucelis, who's now missing a front bumper, 7, Alger 8, Williamson 9, and look at Aeneas. That's the problem for Aeneas, who's now up to 9th as he gets around Williamson, but Williamson losing a bumper. But my goodness me, Bacelis came in so hard, nearly, well, pretty much in trouble there, as that was a spinner for the TMO guys of Ilja Bracalo, who was down at the back. And he was under attack by Williamson down the outside, and it looks as though the Art Kart guys are busy. Oh my goodness me, look at Marvin Amance there. It's a goddamn pinball down at turn 1. Come on guys. Well, I know we enjoyed a little bit of Basharoo, and to be fair, if I'm going to rub off against someone, I wouldn't do it in a sim racing world, but we'll all have it. Lee McLaughlin in trouble down in 13th, just got back going again, now about to be passed by Yeva Bass, who goes up into 13th for the time being. Oh, it's Virok goes down the inside of Stanky Vicious for the lead, and he's got him down into the hairpin. Good move by Virok, and then more importantly, goddamn clean. Well done, Henry. Good stuff there. He's got no weight on, so this is going to help him out. Stanky Vicious doesn't have any weight either, and that's why these two are pop-corped up at the top with Wenzel in 3rd. In fact, all 3 of them have got no weight as Stanky Vicious goes for the outside. Can he be last of the late breakers and go around the outside? Virok's going in deep. He's locked up his brakes. Going to do the old switcheroo. Good move there by Stanky Wanky as he pops up into the top of the charts. But what can Virok do as he comes down into the next chicane? He's got the inside line. Will Stanky Vicious cut him off? Yes, he will. There's slight contact between the two as they go side by side through the chicane. Stanky Vicious gets it on the exit. Virok trying to then do the think forwards. Here comes Mirko Wenzel up into 3rd for Online Motorsports. We do like a little bit of Wurzel Gummidge as it's side by side, and can Wenzel make it 3 in a row as they come flying down. Virok's out of control as he comes down into the hairpin. Just about keeps it all together. Stanky Vicious gives him a little bit of enough nudge on the exit. They just about keep it all together. Wenzel very much now in the slipstream, and Randu Mura and Borna Spoljaric are starting to close back in on them. Then there's a further 2 seconds back to Titus Bacelis, who by argy-bargy default is now up into 6th position, and then the rest of the field comes streaming through. Amazingly, no retirements so far. Everyone is still going as here comes Virok, and that's a very tight line. That is tighter than... I'll stop that sentence. As Palm having a go at Bacelis, misses out, and actually may well end up behind Valjo as the two go in once again toe to toe. Stanky Vicious keeps it and gets it back. Virok once again, much better exit rather. And look at Wenzel. Wenzel's fancying a nose at Stanky Vicious, I think. No, he backs out of it quite wisely. Virok's so tight into the corner, but that's going to allow him to be mullered on the exit as they crash into the old side pod. If they was playing Dirt Showdown, I think that would be a heavy side swipe hit as they come across the line to complete lap 5 of 20. We're only 25% distance And yeah, pretty much every... Oh, Carlo Williamson's out. He's crashed down at turn 1. As free wide into the pin. Benzel runs out wide. He's going to be let loose there by Randy Muru, who's now getting his little nose rummaging all of it like some snotty old moosicle. Once again, you can see the battle's raging up and down the field, as you can see the second half of the field diving down to the hairpin. Absolutely great stuff going on everywhere up and down the field. Just the one retirement, then Carlo Williamson crashed it into turn 1. Someone else I can see is off, but it doesn't matter. He's down towards the rear end of the field. Stankiewicz still leads from Vierok, who's locking up a wee bit. Wenzel, Muru, Spodjaric. Oh, Buselis, what on earth is that? He's just driven right across Martin Palm into the final chicane. There's a reason why Titus has got no front wing, and there's probably a reason why his parents called him that, because he certainly drives like one as he crosses the line to start lap 6 of 20. If he continues that kind of driving, that will get him nothing but a barrier ending as he goes so defensive. Palm, is he going to just spill one up the inside anyway and say sod it? Ooh, so close. No, Buselis diagonally crossing over. Valja keeping a watching brief, and Thomas in the US isn't too far behind either. Marvin Amantz. Oh, who's that facing the wrong way? I think that was Lucas Gabrielauskas down to 13th for Light Night Cut. Is Vierok back in the lead now for Team Estonia, ahead of Stankiewicz, lap 7 of 20. Wenzel still third, then Muru and Spodjaric just keeping a watch. Doesn't really need to do too much here. I think this could well unravel into its own little mini scrap. And then you've got Buselis, Palm, Valja. Bracalo is a lap down, but still trying to unlap himself as Stankiewicz once again getting the old Dyson manoeuvre. But Vierok seems very comfortable and confident at taking the extreme inside line and just parking the car right on the apex. Look at Muru on Wenzel. He's got third position, but Mirko Wenzel's got the inside line for the chicane. Can he therefore manoeuvre his car into the right position? Yeah, Muru's backing out of that one. I think he quite fancies a much better exit, but Wenzel just places it right on the exit as Vierok continues to hold off Stankiewicz. Muru still all over Wenzel. Spodjaric just holding back for the time being. What can Stankiewicz do down to the next corner on Vierok? Vierok once again feeling the need to go defensive, as is Wenzel. Ooh, Spodjaric there just nearly driving into Muru as the different lines all converge. Buselis is still 6th ahead of Palm, Valja and Ewis. Abbas has got a Mant diving through on him for 10 and 11. And Abbas holds that one for the time being. Lee McLaughlin still doing superbly well in 12th ahead of Gabrielauskas. Hans-Peter Mead just passing James Ross for 14th and 15th. Then Frith, Dixon, Reino Room up to 18th. Has just got round Cameron Brewster. No, Brewster gets him back round the outside. That'll do him. Reino Room now down to 18th. What a shame for what looked like such a promising start. Then Paul Joseph, Kevin Budding out to 20th ahead of Dave Robertson. James Kirk has just got round Stuart Fleming, because Fleming's in the pits from P24 for Team Core, and he is missing a wheel, so that's been trouble there. I did see a car spearing off to the side. I wonder if that will be problematical for him. One lap down is Bracalo and Muru, so they must have been in for repairs, and Williamson is off. As look at that, someone's trying to reenact the film Rubber as the tyre goes flying off down the track of the top 5, all end up down out of the final chicane. Stankiewicz once again back up front. As, my goodness me, there's been more switches going on here for the lead than there has been at a freeway party where you throw your keys in the middle. Lee McLaughlin taking 13th position away from Lucas Gabrielauskas. He'll have that one back again. Those two switcherooing around as ever to try and find a car that hasn't actually got all of its positions in. Stuart Fleming very much in the pits as Vierok retakes the lead, but he's gone in deep, and Stankiewicz takes back the pace. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you Skankiewicz, but well, there we go, as Randy Muru taking third from Wenzel in the background too, and Spodjaric now sitting on a watching brief. Buselis has still got Palm behind him, the Valja and Ewis, and then Abbas as Ilja Bracalo is trying to unlap himself and is causing a wee bit of an issue into that little quartet. He's faster than them, but he's got no way of proving it, as Vierok diving up from... You know where you see two cars and you're like, those lines are converging. Never good, but that's now allowed Randy Muru for TTFR right onto the back of Vierok. Well, what can Henry Boy do? They're going for the inside. That could half work as a move on Stanky Vicious, depending on how brave he is. And brave is what he is not. He's going to just defend second. Randy Muru there. Wenzel once again looking a bit more feisty. Spoljaric just clutching the barrier on the exit there as they all filter back through. Briselis still ahead of Palm with Belger and Lewis and Abbas. Amance in 11th position has gone in very deep. Gabriel Salaskas goes back through and takes 11th position for Art Cart. Side by side between him and Marvin Amance. But nope, he's got it. The flashing lights, I don't know why. That's quite a fair move, but Amance trying to steam it through. Oh my goodness me, leaning on the Art Cart driver, and that will allow probably Lee McLaughlin is one of the few cars that's still got all his body parts together, and 13th going through. Then Mead and Ross, Frith, Room, Raynu, Variety. Then we've got Cameron Brewster, Buddy, Joseph, Robertson, Kirk, Dixon, and a lap down Bracalo, Muru, and Fleming has got back going again, but he's still missing a wheel. He's come out of the pits, he's still missing a wheel, so I think that will be retirement for him. And the problem is, as Vierok comes in to take the lead from Stankiewicz, they've got him to negotiate. Stuart Fleming is a wily driver, though. He'll move off to the side. He doesn't want to get involved in that. Indeed, he does just move out of the way, unfortunately. For Fleming, I think that could well be the end of his day for round one, as Vierok being pushed around by Stankiewicz. What's that changes going on? Oh, 3 wide out of turn 1. Let's go for 11, 12 and 13, I think that was. And Lee McLaughlin's just taken Gabrielaskas and Amance in one move altogether, and Amance pushes round Gabrielaskas. Is he in the barriers? Art Cart Racing, and that's a puncture. Gabrielaskas has got a puncture. He's staying on the racing line. Don't try and race them. No, he does. He pulls out of the way. Hans-Peter Mead steams through. James Ross is going to be next. I don't think if he doesn't try and get through is Martin Palm. Side by side for 6th and 7th with Bucelis. This is the first time he's been able to do anything about the argy-bargy tip as he comes across the line. Palm goes straight for the inside. Look at Mark Bowger trying to get in there too. And this is going to be 3 wide into the chicane. Palm veering left and right. Can he keep the inside? Oh my goodness me. It gets into a complete disastrous basharoo, and Mark Bowger, can he have the pair of them as they come out from the corner? Yes, he can. Palm stays 7th, but they've both cleared Titus Bucelis, and they can see Thomas Aneus for Art Cart trying to get in there too, and poor old Bracalo, oh, as Palm there pushed into the wall slightly, but they're past Titus Bucelis, and for now that will put them ahead, and he was the real danger man, although I can see him doing a little lungelina very shortly back into turn 1 if we're not careful. Aneus 9, Bracalo's a lapped car there in the back. There's lap 13 completed of 20. Vierok still in the lead for the time being. There's Stankiewicz steaming down the outside. That's not going to work. And Mero retaking Wenzel for 3rd. I didn't even notice they'd swapped round. Now they're back to where they were. Oh my goodness me, 6, 7, 8. They're all sliding into the corner. Palm just being pushed out of the way. Gabrielaskas has retired, unfortunately. Lucas out there with his puncture after being bunted into the wall by Marvin Amance. And Bucelis, come on. Oh, look at Thomas Aneus. He'll say yoink, and he'll have the pair of them. 9th to 7th, potentially in one fell swoop. He flops in behind Palm, who's just been mullered with all of that weight disadvantage. What can Thomas do? Not a lot. Oh, look at Palm. He's going to try a opportunistic move. Is there contact? Yes, there is, ever so slightly. Well, that won't help at all. And Palm now down to 9th. It's not working out to his advantage. Spoljaric has been dropped by Muro and Wenzel as Stankiewicz once again down the outside of Vierok into turn 1. Vierok has got the racing line. He'll just hang Andreas out to dry in the Torrent Motorsport Osiris team. And Vierok keeps it just for now. Andreas Vanson half little Luke. They've got some traffic up ahead to deal with very shortly, and I think, I'm not sure who it's going to be actually, but there is traffic coming. So close this field, still the top 5 covered by 3 seconds. So Mark Voucher now in 6 has pulled out from Titus Bucelis. He's pulled clear, that will do him nicely, he's clear. Thomas Aneus having a go at Titus Bucelis, but that's not going to work going round the outside. Bucelis taking such a tight line in. Palm 9, Bass on his own in 10, McLaughlin now has popped out in 11th ahead of Marvin Amant. Rainer Room up to 13th, has passed Hans-Peter Mead. Kevin Buddy is now up to 15 ahead of Cameron Brewster. Paul Joseph now 17, Tyrone Frith down to 18, Dave Robertson is 19 ahead of Miles Dixon, although they've got Muru in between them who's lapped. James Kirk 21st, James Ross is now 22nd, so he's dropped down after such a promising grid slot. Ricardo's a lap down 23rd, Muru 1 lap down 24, Stuart Fleming still no front wheel in 25th position, he's pitted again, but that's not working for him sadly, and that's the biggest gap we've had between Vierok and Stankiewicz, 7 tenths on lap 16 as we start, as the top 5 start to pull out. It's all a battle over 7th and 8th and 9th at the moment as Buselis, Aneus and Palm diving into turn 1. I think Palm fancies this one. Oh dear. My goodness me. As they come floating out. And yeah, Buselis, Aneus and Palm. And they're being distracted there because Bracalo's just sitting there, but as soon as he gets past he'll probably get waved a blue flag and say, no, wait matey. Come back through again, completely different lines into the bottom chicane. Oh, Aneus. That was a bit unnecessary there, Thomas. Poor old Titus. Oh dear. Well, some people like to bash up against a pair, but I don't think Buselis would like that. As who's that to change of position? That's Marvin Amant and Reino Room side by side for 12 and 13. Independent versus a Team Estonia driver, and Reino Room trying to displace Marvin. Looks like he may well have a go down into the final hairpin as they go down the back straight. As, oh my goodness me, 7th position once again, having a good old ding dong across the start finish line. You come down into the Grundig hairpin. Who's doing what? Palm going down the outside. He's already got the legs on Aneus, who's lost control. Oh no! Drama llamas. All 3 come out in the same way that they went in, despite all going in at various angles, not perpendicular to the actual corner itself. And that, I think, all happened when Aneus kind of lost control a little bit. And I think Palm went off in sympathy slightly. Oh, Amantz. What's happened to Marvin Amantz? Has he crashed? No, he's dropped down to 18th position, but he's in trouble. That's a lot of positions. Loftus Titus there losing out to Aneus. No, he's got back through again. This little trio continue on their way. Lap 18 completed, just 2 more to go. Palm needs a couple of positions if he wants to try and keep the lead, and he's steaming through on Aneus. Is he going to have Buselis as well? Yes he is. Oh my goodness me. Argy bargy. Palm now giving it back for what basically he's had all race, but he's through. He's up to 7th, 2 in 1 fell swoop. A little bit naughty, but to be fair they've all been at it I think this afternoon, or this evening rather, depending on where you are in the world. As Palm runs right the way out to the edge, he can just get a couple of attempts advantage, and I think now Buselis is so busy worrying about Aneus, this could well work to Palm's advantage as Vierok and Stankiewicz start their final lap. Oh no! Aneus hits Buselis, who smacks Palm. Round he goes. Palm then down to 10th because Ehab Abbas has the pair of them, and Ehab's going to be the one that basically wins out on that one as the field continue round on what is now their final lap. Vierok still leading, but I just want to see what these lot will do down into turn 1, because I think that could well decide a lot of people's fates. Ehab's having a go at Aneus. Buselis has got nowhere to really stick it. Palm's too far back to have a go, but Buselis there diving through on Abbas takes the position. Stuart Fleming still with no front wheel going round. Henry Vierok braking very hard for the last corner though. It looks like he's going to take the win. Stankiewicz has one last look to try and scare Vierok off the road. These two have absolutely romped it away. Stunning victory for Henry Vierok and Team Estonia. Take that everyone. Henry Vierok wins round 1 by half a second from Andreas Stankiewicz. Classic driving by those. Randy Muru ends up 3rd after all that. Mirko Venzel a stunning 4th position. Well done to him, Online Motorsports. That's the highest he's finished so far this season. Bonus Bolyak 5th. very much on his own actually. Mark Voucher, an excellent 6th, so someone bumper in the middle of the straight there. 7th for Thomas Aeneas, 8th Titus Bucelis, 9 Hababas in the end, so Bucelis kept that position. Palm grabs 10, Lee McLaughlin 11, right behind that lot. Rayno Room gets 12th, Kevin Buddy's just crossing the line 13, Hans-Peter Mead 14th. Paul Joseph gets 15th by just a 10th from Cameron Brewster. Marvin Amant 17. Miles Dixon, just missing out for 18. Dave Robertson 2 points for 19. James Ross from 10th on the grid, 20th in the race. Such a shame there for the TTF driver. James Kirk just outside the points by 1.9 seconds. 1 lap down, finishing in the pits, Tyrone Frith for TTF. Ilja Bracalo 23rd. Rayno Room 24th. Stuart Fleming makes it home in 25th. Tyrone Frith running out of petrol, it says. And in the retirements, Lucas Gabrielaskis and Carlo Willemsen both crashing out on laps 11 and 4 respectively. Gemma Hazers. Whew.
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel
About
leave
them
the grid
lot,
now.
I'm sweaty. Not naturally sweaty, Mr. Melhuish. Although in some parts of the world that is actually quite well courted. It's like, if I was to go anywhere in the world to be like adored by women, it would be Hawaii, because apparently the fatter you are, the more they love you, because it's a sign of wealth. It's just a sign of eating more than your belly can take, to be fair, but I'll go with that. Lots of apologies flying across the chat room. Lots of accusations. And now people are capitalising, which means they is annoyed. Never mind. Excuse me. They don't love you in Hawaii, boy. Oh, have a kebab. So yeah, people apologising around. So easy to lay the blame. That makes you fat. Damn right it does. I saw Henry Virock leave the game. No, he's back now. Good. Good, 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 good. But yep. As the race admin has said to everyone, unless you're in the gym in the next 2 hours. That's not what the race admin said. Sorry, I'm reading at the same time. Race admin says this isn't the place to talk about it. Of course, submit your protests or whatever via the website afterwards. We are a gentleman's racing club and we desperately try to adhere to that at all times. Yes, we might have some hot-headed moments, but we are all here for some good racing. Yes, kebab does make you fat unless you hit the gym in the next 2 hours.
Attention grid, all non-essential
I'd like to know what the
personnel
inside of
leave
the
the
gym
grid
would
now.
look like, to be fair. The thought scares me. It's like whenever you buy something it says new improved recipe, you know it's not going to be. Oh, someone was removed from the game, not ready in time for the race. I'd like to know who that was. The field just getting themselves going. Round 2, we set off in the order that they finished in. So Henry Virock will be our pole man. Bit of Stanky. Vicious. Claus, Randy Murray 3rd, with Malcolm Benzel 4. Spogliaric and Voucher 5 and 6. Aeneas and Bucelis 7 and 8. Abbas 9 and Palm rounding out the top 10 there. That, I'm assuming, would have swung the pendulum for Spoljaric. And those two will now be very, very close together in the championship. Lee McLaughlin 11, he's ascending, he's doing well. Reno Room 12. Kevin Buddy 13. Hans-Peter Mead 14. Paul Joseph. Karen Brewster 15-16. Marvin Amant 17 ahead of Miles Dixon 18. Dave Robertson and James Ross round out the top 20 with James Kirk, Ilja Bracalo, Reino Muru, Stuart Fleming, Lucas Gabrielascus and Carlo Williamson rounding out our 26 runners and riders. Can't even work out who's actually the one that's missing. Oh, it's whoever it was should have been 22nd on the grid, but they're no longer there now. As the field filter themselves round, one of the purple cars, oh, it was Gabrielascus, who was well out of position, just got himself back now. He's running very slowly. I wonder if he's hurt himself or something. Yeah, the field just getting themselves nicely bunched up. Oh, it'd be Tyrone Frith, wouldn't it? So Frith not taking the start. Bucelis, can he get his car lined up in time? Yes, he can. Well done. Palm spinning his tyres. He obviously wants to get as much heat into them as possible when he's standing still to try and get as much heat into them to try and get some good getaway action. So back in the field to sort themselves out. Here come the lights, round 2. God knows what we're in for this time, but we are away for round 2 of 3 here this evening. One of the carts away very slowly there, Aeneas, but it is Stanky Vicious that gets the jump on Virok well clear before they get into turn 1. You might want to go the long way round to try and avoid all of the carnage down into the opening corner because Virok's steaming through, and once again it's all so close. This is looking much cleaner though. Everyone leaning on each other, but as I click through the field, no one's facing the wrong way! Awesome! There is James Ross leading out a lot there, but it doesn't matter. But Stanky Vicious leads from Virok, a Bass up to 3rd. That's nuts. Spoljaric, Muru, Aeneas, despite a torrid start, up to 6th because he got the right action in. Voucher, Wenzel, Bucelis, Palm still 10, Buddy, McLaughlin, Room, Mead, Brewster, Amance, Joseph, Bracalo, Dixon, Robertson. Your top 20 as they all come steaming into the next chicane. And this one looking equally as fraught, but once again everyone through. As they all come piling out the other side. Classic stuff by this lot. But Stanky Vicious well cleared by 7/10 from Henry Virok. Then Abbas 3rd, Spoljaric 4, he'll have that. Then it's all kicking off behind as Aeneas has a go at Randumura and he's through. Bucelis having a go and spin hats. Mark Voucher 3 wide further back as Martin Palm tries to retake Buddy and McLaughlin. He does indeed to retake back his 10th position, but Buddy's going to have a go. And what will Palm do? Oh, we'll back out of it by the looks of it. He knows this is a long one, so Buddy up to 10. Palm to 11, Lee McLaughlin's next up for the TSA Dice team. You can see it's all kicking off in the midfield as they come streaming across the line. McLaughlin goes to the outside, Rainer Room making sure he's got plenty as they come around the hairpin. And just about everyone fitting through once again. Gabrielascus is up to 17th position, that's a good recovery from him. Stuart Fleming dropped to last, so he must have been in trouble somewhere along the line as well, as Virok's closed back up to Stanky Vicious for the lead. Once again, these two have pulled clear from Mihab Abbas, who's leading the rest. Bucelis! What on earth was that? 2-2-2 late on the brakes, crashes into Thomas Aeneas, doesn't gain anything from it either. And now actually Mark Voucher's going to take over 7th position. So continue on Lee McLaughlin. On Reino Room for 12 and 13, and Room keeps it. Once again contact between the two. But note the field much better behaved. Just keeping things in a line. Stuart Fleming in the pits to repair the gain. Not been his day, has it? Poor old team core driver as he have a bat under attack by Spoljaric. Round to the final kink. Onto the start finish straight, side by side they go. Who's going to do what, and what can Randy Muru do? Because he's going to try and do a double toes. Stuart Fleming rejoins right beside them. Spoljaric's got the inside. Muru looking a little bit wobbly under braking. Abbas scared off the road into a mistake. Spoljaric yoinks third position. Great driving there by him. Good recovery from Abbas. That looked like he was going round like a top. Muru stays sixth for Neowis in 7. Then Valja, Buselis, Wenzel, Buddy. Oh, Buddy hits Stuart Fleming as they're trying to lap the poor guy. And there we go, that's making their way through now. Palm and Room are there too. Ilja Bracalo's just taken 13th from McLaughlin, and Hans-Peter Mead's there to try and get it on him as well. Spoljaric against Abbas. Abbas trying to dive through, didn't make it stick. Spoljaric goes back up into third. So, never mind, as they continue on. He'll have another go later on, all kicking off down towards the back as well. Marvin and Mant 16th position. Got Miles Dixon for Cookie Monster Racing about to have a go, and Paul Joseph has got Reinu Muru trying to get back up the field, and the four of them are 2 by 2. Come steaming through, and Peter Mead and McLaughlin doing the same just up ahead. Cookie Monster goes through. Oh no! Smacks poor old Hans-Peter Mead, who is minding his own. Miles Dixon lives up to his name by being one, and unfortunately that is that for now. And Dixon there now under attack by the TSA drivers of Kirk and Brewster. Let's see what the Bowser can do. James Ross and Gabriel Askus just touching for 21st and 22nd. But Hans-Peter Mead rejoins in 23rd. That won't help at all as James Kirk goes past Miles Dixon and takes 17th. Oh, Dixon! Jesus Christ, of course. Yeah, Kirk goes through. Now Brewster's going to try and follow him through as well, but it's all getting a wee bit argy-bargy, my loves, down at the back there, unfortunately. There's Stankiewicz still holding off Vierok, just about. Different lines into turns 1 and 2. The Stankiewicz ran deep. There's still 7 tenths between the pair of them. Spoljaric now third. Abbas still bottle corking up people. He's got Muru, Aeneas, Valja, Buselis, Wenzel behind. Then Reinu Rooms popped up into 10th ahead of Ilja Bracalo. We've still got Kevin Buddy and Martin Palm behind. And what's that? That's Valja getting round Thomas Aeneas for 6th and 7th positions. Aeneas now under attack by Buselis. And look at Mirko Wenzel, who's going for the extreme left-hand side. Oh, look at Aeneas. He bounced on the curb. Round he goes on Buselis. The pair of them meet in the middle. Aeneas continues on, not admitting that that was his mistake, despite the fact that he lost it by basically mounting the pavement and then trying to straddle it all. Desperate times, desperate measures, didn't work out for him at all. Dixon's retaken 2 TSA guys, by the way, further back down the field. Palm, 13th position. This is not what he needs for his championship challenge. He's up on Lee McLaughlin for 12 down into turn 1, and there you can see Palm. That car's missing a lot of bumper. And he's now got poor Titus Buselis now behind him, and Buselis, wherever he's been so far, there's been drama and trouble. Randy Muru, round the outside of Ehab Abbas for 4th position. He's got him. Good move by Randy Muru. Abbas now down to 5 for Union Motorsports Inc. Ilja Bracalo is having a go at Randy Muru because he's going 3 wide with Thomas Aeneas. And once again, Aeneas losing it on the... Stay off the pavement! Not hard, as they come out 3 wide once again. Bracalo and Room trying to see what they can do side by side. They've leapfrogged Aeneas. The 3 of them continue across the line. Most definitely 3 wide. Aeneas then drops back in for another blip of slipstream. Bracalo on the inside, Room on the outside. Is there going to be enough for him? Bracalo goes through. Aeneas, that is what I like to call a curb hop. Or curb abuse, to be fair, and Buddy sits in behind, and you've got McLaughlin, poor old Palm, Buselis and Reinu Muru's now joined up on that. And Amance, then there's a good little scrap for the second lot between James Kirk, who's now got Stuart Fleming, who's lapped in the middle of him as they're trying to get round. I don't know if Fleming knows that he's not in that battle, but he's trying to move out of the way actually, so that's worked out okay. But, oh, James Ross into the wall. in the back. So yeah, this field very much fragmenting out into a couple of different little runs. And it was absolutely enthralling to watch as Stankiewicz still 6/10 clear of Vierok. He still feels the need to go defensive down into turn 1, and that can't be helping his lap times at all. Spoljaric on his own in third. Randu Muru now clear of Ehab Abbas, pulling away from him. Ehab still in 5, has still got Valjer and Wenzel behind him. Then Bracard, oh, Inuis is round at turn 1, P11. He's got himself back going again, but poor old Martin Palm hit again just by the recovering Inuis, and that's him down to, what's that, 15th place for Palm. This is a disaster. You won't be leading the old championship by the end of this. As they come round, as McLaughlin there gets passed by Biselis for P12 and 13. It's once again Inuis. Stay off the curb, and Biselis does the same thing. He pushes Lee McLaughlin off wide, who takes the extreme wide action. Palm then back up to 14th. Now side by side with Biselis, who is so ruthless on his cutting across. I'm not quite I know I shouldn't be biased, but I'm going to be. Because I feel that's the only way. McLaughlin goes back past Palm, just because Palm was squeezed ever so slightly down into turn 1. Palm takes the wide line. Oh, McLaughlin taps Biselis' rear and he loses out because Palm retakes 14th. It's another point or two. It's trying to do damage limitation for Spoljaric. Constantly is on the podium. Vierok's caught up to Stankiewicz. The gap just 4/10 of a second. It does look like it's a wee bit closer as they cross the line to complete lap 10. What's the gap? No, 0.472. Is he going to be close enough to get into the slipstream? He's on the verge of it, isn't he? That's going to be a little scrap coming along soon. There's, Valjer and 6th position on Ehab Abbas down into turn 1. Abbas giving him plenty of room. And Valjer has it. Abbas running out right out wide. Side by side they go. Abbas feeling confident enough to then sting it up the inside into the chicane. Good move there by Abbas. He's not doing this do or die manoeuvres. Very mature driving from Ehab. Real coming on of his character, to be fair. I'm very pleased with that. So Valjer stays behind. Is he going to have another go? Looks like it. Ooh, he's another one that's deciding to jump across those curbs. They're not friendly, don't do it. Vierok not close enough to Stankiewicz to have a go just yet as they cross the line for lap 11. Although he has pulled in 6/100ths of a second. But he's just made a right boober of turn 1, so that will put pay to that. Valjer once again on Abbas, and look out for Mirko Wenzel in the second of the Lexite. Abbas favoring his wider line in because it gives him a much better exit. And side by side they go again. Good driving by these two, no contact. This is what we like to see on GRC. And Wenzel very much in the thick of it too. Just behind, it's all kicking off for 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. Reinu Muru, Titus Biselis, Thomas Inuis, Martin Palm and Lee McLaughlin. All going nuts. James Kirk has just got round Marvin Amance for 16th and 17th. Then look at Miles Dixon, Lucas Gabrielauskas and Cameron Brewster, 18, 19, 20. 3 wide down the main straight. That can only end in tears if there's a Cookie Monster involved, as Reinu Muru gets Titus Biselis gets round Inuis for 12th and 13th. And Gabrielauskas side by side with Dixon for 18th and 19th. Brewster and Joseph side by side. Remember, that's for the Division 2 Championship. Those two are battling head to head for. And at the moment they're battling over the final point. Such is the sheer nuttiness of this race on lap 13 of 20th, and they might not even get that as Paul Joseph goes past. Oh my goodness me, who is that steaming up the inside? That was Carlo Williamson, who is once again forgetting how to drive. It's like he was doing one of those like mat splashes where you just go through, and James Ross there in trouble out of the final corner, but still running in 25th of the 26 drivers. No retirements once again. But That will do for now. Ehab Abbas in 5th. Mark Valger under attack for 6th position from Mirko Wenzel. Oh, they've tapped as they cross the start-finish line now. I think Wenzel was planning to pull out a wee bit earlier, but it didn't happen. He's been pushed right to the outside. Valger then goes for the inside. He's a little bit hot on the braking. Abbas's rear was all too open. Thankfully he didn't tank into the back of it. That's what they'll tank into. Will be the back of Ehab Abbas as they come spearing through. Oh, Abbas! Wonky donkey. All together. That gets it. But that's going to allow him open for Mark Valger to have a go. And look at Ilja Bracalo, who's suddenly on the back of Mirko Wenzel. No rest for the wicked. Abbas keeping to the outside. Valger goes for the inside. Wenzel doing the same on Bracalo. These four are all going to meet in the middle as they cross the line. 3 attempts between Stankiewicz and Vierok. Still no battle going on there that's closer than this one. Abbas, Valger, Wenzel and Bracalo. What's going to be the order when they come out the other end of this hairpin? Abbas is going to be mullered by Valger. He's gone through his outside line, but Valger's been able to block that, and he's through. Oh, and pinball there between Wenzel and Bracalo and Abbas. Abbas keeps 6th ahead of Wenzel and Bracalo. Room is there now too. Room giving Bracalo a helping hand as a Team Estonia driver joins the back. Kevin Buddy's 10, then Muru, Baselis and Neus. Palm still 14th ahead of Lee McLaughlin. Amantz and Gabrielauskas 16-17 side by side. Lucas diving through. Contact between the two. Those two ended up in the barriers after they came together. Well, Lucas did anyway. It retired him from the race, so they don't want a repeat of that. Dixon still ahead of Joseph, with Williamson now up into 20th ahead of Dave Robertson and Hans-Peter Mead. James Kirk now 23rd, Cameron Brewster 24, James Ross 25. So those TSA drivers have had trouble somewhere along the line. There's once again lap 16, and this is Henry Vierok on with Stankiewicz. And is he going to have a go with him down into the... He's got him! He's got him down into the chicane. Vierok takes the lead. He's sat patiently for 15 laps, but he's got him now. What can Stankiewicz do in response? They're not playing play with the car, with the old pavement, as Vierok goes in the tightest he possibly can. Popping out from the exit of Stankiewicz. They've got poor old Stuart Fleming, who's our last runner, coming around to be lapped for the 2nd time. He had to come for a pit stop, remember, at the end of lap 1 to replace some damage. The car still limping around. Who's that in trouble? Oh, it's Amantz and Gabrielauskas side by side. I thought they was in trouble as Vierok holds it for the time being. Will Stuart Fleming be a good little back marker and get out of the way? Survey said, Survey said, aha! But that's, oh no, round! No, he keeps it, just about. From that camera angle I was looking at it round, it was going round. There's problems down at turn 1. Who's that? Oh, it's Bracalo in trouble. Let's see what happened. It was Bracalo and Wenzel. Oh, yeah, Bracalo smacks Ehab Abbas. Round he goes. Reino Room involved as well. And it looks as though they've all got going again. But Bracalo down to 10, Buddy up to 9, Room up to 8, Wenzel stays 7 ahead of Abbas. So that's a shame there. Stankiewicz is back ahead of Vierok, and that happened down at the final... Yeah, down at the final hairpin. Let's see what Vierok can do as they come down into 1. He's going for the inside line late in the brakes. There's locking up. There's no room! Oh my goodness me. Pushes Stankiewicz right the way out to the edge. Got him through. Stankiewicz flashing his lights. Yeah, there's a lot. I tell you what, he was taking Lean on Me, the song, to a whole new level. I think there was poor old Henry. And Stankiewicz, oh, getting his moose on by the looks of it as they come out from the chicane. Not the wisest of moves. Well, I'm sure that one will end up being looked at if that's the way how that results goes. Spoljaric now caught by Randu Muru as well. Just half a second between those two as Randu decides to want a podium finish. Spoljaric has been utterly quiet the entire race so far, apart from the very opening lap or two. Now he's going to be having some pressure under him. There's 1.2 seconds the gap between Vierok and Stankiewicz. Spoljaric now 3rd, Muru 4, Mark Valger now clearing 5, Abbas is 6th, but Marco Wenzel still keeping a watching brief in 7, with Reino Room in 8. There too as they come spearing down. What can Wenzel do this time? He's been sucked up into the slipstream. Will he feel the need to pop out? Oh, Ray, no! Room. There wasn't any for you. Back out. Goodness me. Buddy's up to 9. Riccardo is 10. Then Reino Muro. Martin Palm now 12. He's getting there. Thomas Aneus. Titus Bucelis still battling along with Lee McLaughlin. He's being bullied there. And Gabriel Askus, Miles Dixon, Carlo Williamson, Marvin Amance down to 19th. So there's been trouble there somewhere along the line. Joseph's now back in the points in 20th ahead of Dave Robertson. Hans-Peter Mead keeping a watching brief just outside. Then the 2 TSA guys and James Ross. And 2 laps down now is Stuart Fleming in 26th position as we start the final lap now for Henry Vierock. 1.4 clear of Stankiewicz. Stankiewicz, oh look at that. Spearing down into turn 1, almost angling at Vierock. I'm sure that wasn't the case, maybe he just got a little bit late on the brakes, but it looked suspicious. There's Wenzel, P7. That's not the corner. Way out. Oh, Kevin Buddy doing the same in the background, and that's allowed Bracalo up to 9th. And Reino Rib up to 7th, so a little late race switcherooings going on. Man, Vierock crosses the line. No, he doesn't. Sorry, I'm looking the wrong way. He's coming round the final corner now. Stankiewicz closing him in. Well, I'm sure it will be contested. I've had no German beer, Mr. Cameraman. Not yet, anyways. Henry Vierock takes the second victory for Team Estonia. Yoink. Andreas Stankiewicz comes home second. Borna Spoljaric holds on for third. From Random Muro 4, Mark Voucher 5. A Bass grab 6th, excellent stuff. Reino Rum, a good recovery to 7. Mirko Wenzel 8. Ilja Bracalo 9. And Kevin Buddy ends up 10 after all of that. I'm sure that win will be looked at though, because that was a lot of leaning and there was flashing of lights going on. I don't think someone will be happy. Reino Muro 11. Martin Palm 12. 23 off the lead. Thomas Aneus 13. Titus Bucelis 14th. Lee McLaughlin 15, Gabriel Askus 16 for Art Carts, Miles Dixon 17 for Cookie Monster, he'll be pleased with the points, Carlo Williamson 18 for Williamson GP, Marvin Amance ending up 19th in the end. Paul Joseph grabbed 20th and a point which will help him out because not everyone else in D2 did, like Dave Robertson, nor Hans-Peter Mead, Cameron Brewster in 23rd, James Ross was 24. James Kirk didn't finish, don't know what happened there, but he's classified 25th and Stuart Fleming 26th. Of course, I'm getting excited over the old point scoring, thank you very much cameraman for pointing that out. But yes, of course they're all split up now, so divisions 1 and 2's getting their own little mini point fest going on. But well, another classic entertainment going on there. And well, I don't think we'll have heard the last of that victory, judging by Stankiewicz' flashing of lights going on.
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
Oh. We've got it all a go again, and if you fancy joining in on this action, don't forget you can pop across to rfgrc.co.uk and sign yourselves up, because this is silly fun. There's also a slice of Awesomesaurus, so go do it! Do it! I want you to. Of course, we've still got 2 rounds left to go. The next 2 Mondays in a row, so if you don't fancy joining in and you want to be like some of the people in the chat room and beer it up, do so. We're on simrace.tv, stream 3 for the next 2 evenings. And of course I'll be here to keep you all company if in doubt. So, the magic number, the finger of fear, the top 8 will be reversed. Yes. That will cause no end of worries. And God knows what will happen as they all come steaming into turn 1 with some of the guys that have been at the top of the field no longer there.
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now?
So, Marco Wenzel then, number 1. What will he be when he gets down to turn 1? OnlineMotorsport.com. Reino Room is second on the grid. You have a Bass will be third ahead of Mark Boucher. Randy Murrow and Borna Spoljaric 5 and 6. Andreas Stankiewicz and Henry Vierok, they've been at each other all evening. So we're up to now Bilger Picardo 9 and Kevin Buddy runs out your top 10. Reino Murrow will be 11th, particularly far ahead of Martin Palm in 12. In need of a good one. Oh, Lee McLaughlin's out facing the wrong way. That's right in my camera view. Poor guy. Never mind, so McLaughlin 15th. I think he's just waiting for everyone else to go through. Yeah, then he's reversing. Good man, Lee. So, where was he up to? Thomas Ineus 17, Titus Baselis. So, Thomas Ineus 13. Titus Baselis 14. McLaughlin will rejoin in 15. Gabriel Askus will be 16. Miles Dixon 17. Carlo Williamson 18. Marvin Amance 19. Paul Joseph 20th. Dave Robertson 21st. Hans-Peter Mead 22nd. Oh, was Miles Dixon now was spun. What's going on? Cameron Bruce 23rd. James Ross 24. James Kirk 25. Stuart Fleming 26, Tyrone Frith has rejoined in 27, and Paul Gardner has joined us for the final event this evening in 28th position, our token independent. Now we definitely will probably have some lap traffic to contend with as the leaders start to line themselves up on the grid. McLaughlin's got himself back into position on the grid, but he's already missing a bumper. Oh dear. Could be dramas. Dixon is not missing a bumper, he didn't hit the barrier. However, there are still 20 laps in which he can change that, and I'm sure he will. So, for the third and final time of asking here at the Norisring, 20 laps of action begins now! And who's off and away? That looked like a slow start from Wenzel against Room, and Room indeed has it. A full car length advantage as we come down into turn 1. I decided to go my very posh German, and what was Sebastian doing? He's steaming up the inside, and that will be yoinking second. Voucher's up in there as well. Spoljaric being squeezed to the edge of the barriers. Everyone else has got through somehow, just about. So everyone in one piece. Yeah, they are actually, shockingly, as Room then leads from a Bass, Wenzel, Spoljaric, Voucher, Vierok, Muru, Stankiewicz, Palm down to up to 10th, and looking like he's going to have a go at Ricardo as well. And Ineus is 11, So the top 11 have pulled away because there's a clap in the middle, and who's that facing the wrong way? It's Stuart Fleming for the third time this evening in trouble in lap 1. Poor guy for Team Core. Everyone bouncing through. Bracalo, Palm and Ineos, they're 3 wide out the final hairpin. Ineos jumps 2 positions in one fell swoop with that as well. Gabriel Ascus up to 12. Good start by him. Everyone else filtering through, but yeah, both... Stuart Fleming looks like he's got away without a puncture, so has not needed to pit for the first time on lap 1. Venzo having a look at Abbas, but nothing doing. Spoljaric under attack by Mark Valger, though. Can he keep it for 4th position? Ooh, yes, he does. Just about. Valger. Slimming to 5. Stanky Vicious ahead of Vierock. And look at that, Ineos and Palm. Oh, Palm into the barrier. Drama llama there. James Ross has retired from the race. I think that's a connection issue. He's out, unfortunately, for TTF. And look at this gaggle from 8th position downwards behind Martin Palm. They're all steaming in behind. Bracalo having a look too. Just about managing to avoid each other. Ineos, Andrew Muru's in there too. Stankiewicz alongside Valger. Wenzel's got Spoljaric side by side for 3rd and 4th as well. Let's take a look at this, and I think we'll watch them as they stream all into the hairpin, because it's going to be a position change each time they all come through. Wenzel holds off Spoljaric. Stankiewicz takes Valger for 5 and 6. That will do nicely. Oh, Spoljaric nearly spinning it on the exit. And then look, Palm, Ineos, Murray. Oh no! Art Cart, wrong way round, surprise, shock, not. Gabriel Ascus in trouble there. Rejoins in 19th position alongside Lee McLaughlin. Oh dearie me, and McLaughlin goes steaming through. Dave Robertson in there too. 3 wide into the chicane, really doesn't work. Kevin Buddy's involved in that one too. But it's Reino Room leading the way from Ehab Abbas. Wenzel still in 3rd, just about from Spoljaric, but he's having to cut across Stankiewicz. Vierock has got round Mark Valger for 6th and 7th. That will do nicely for him. Then Palm leads the rest of the field round, as they're all kind of struggling around. Carlo Williamson then, and he's spinning out of the final turn as well. But everyone just about keeping together. They're all kind of flooring it in a bizarre ways at the minute. Spoljaric attacking Mirko, who goes in far too deep, and that's going to be a barrier. Oh, he just about keeps it out, but through goes the TMO drivers of Spoljaric and Stankiewicz. Mirko drops down to 5, unfortunate there for the online motorsport team. Vierock pulling away from Valger. Ineos has got round Palm for 8th and 9th position, so Palm is slipping down the order with his fatty friend car. They've got much better exit than Ineos out of the chicane, so that could work out quite nicely for him. Straight into the slipstream on the pavement. We saw what was going on with Ineos in the previous round when he used the pavement. He cuts across diagonally, braking, as we've seen lots of drivers do this evening. So we'll see what's going on there. Oh, Cameron Brewster bouncing across the pavement as well. They're nearly collecting Gabriel Ascus, and I think everyone else just about keeping going as James Kirk overtakes Paul Gardner for 25 and 26. But no, it's Room, Abbas, Borna, Spoljaric, and that's Mirko Wenzel being overtaken again by Vierock. Down to 6th goes Mirko. So often is he bouncing around the top 5 and 6 positions. Oh wow! I don't quite know what caused that, but Wenzel just turned in on poor old Henry and done well to keep it all together there. They've come out of the corner pretty much together though. I think Mirko's going to have another go. Obviously the Norisring pretty much brings out the devil gene in everyone. Wants to do well, does the German driver. That might be one reason why. He's got Mark Valger for company, who's already lost his bumper once. Can't lose it again, but he may want to smear some headlights all over him. Oh dear. As they come ploughing into turn 1, and Wenzel again, is he going to run in deep? Yes he is. Sliding through the exit, Valger just smears into the side of him. Ineos and Palm once again in trouble, and that may allow Ilda Bracalo a go in 10th position. But no, Randy Muru and Rainer Muru just behind. Then Titus Baselis and Miles Dixon up to 14th, doing well actually. Then Carlo Williamson, Gabriel Ascus, Amance, McLaughlin, Brewster, Buddy, Robertson, Hans-Peter Mead in 22nd position, not having a good day. at the office. Frith just about to be overtaken by Joseph for 23rd down the back straight. The Zeppelin Straight, would you believe? I wonder if that's a reference to the band. And that looks as though James Kirk is having a go at Tyrone as well. Oh, contact between the two. Gardner 26th and Fleming still going in 27. I could see a change of position. It might be Wenzel. Yeah, Wenzel, Voucher 6th and 7. Voucher, where are you going, mate? I have to start some kind of war. Oh, Palm! Look at Palm having a go and passing both Bracalo and Muru and Aeneas, who drops down to 11th position in all of that. Aeneas side by side with Randy Muru into the chicane. And he gets it. Good recovery there by Aeneas. Randy Muru backing out of that one in the first of the TTFR Motorsport cars. Rather loving. Closest they've been on action. As Palm, they're nearly driving into the back of Mark Voucher. Oh, look at the amount of debris coming out of that chicane. That's a rear wing and a front wing going on there. So God knows who's going to be in the pits for repairs. It looks red, so it may even be Wenzel's sister teammate as Voucher versus Wenzel. Looks as though Mark may have it. Whoa, as well, Wenzel braking very, very early. I don't know what he's doing, but he's... Oh, around goes Aeneas! Art kart driver once again facing the wrong way, and I think that is because Wenzel there is running very slowly because, yeah, he's got no front bumper at all, and he's struggling slightly to basically keep it in as that was Buselis and Dixon coming together in the chicane. They've kept everything going. As Carlo Williamson has retired, so I would imagine he was running with Tyrone Frith. Oh, Frith in the barriers in the chicane down in 23rd position. And yeah, his car has still got all its parts on it. There's more damage. There's just car parts flying everywhere. It's like some kind of filthy... Oh, that's because Titus Bacelis is in trouble. That might be why. So, may well be Hans-Peter Mead. No, he's still got a bumper as well. Anyway, we shall uncover that. But Voucher under attack by Martin Palm and Ilja Bracalo down into turn 1 for 6, 7 and 8. Palm and Bracalo meet. My cameraman squeals a little bit and dies inside. Doesn't want his team coming together like that. Rainer Rum still got a 3.5 second lead now over Ehab Bass. He's got Stanky Vicious and Spoljaric. And Henry Vierock up behind him. Don't forget those that are all battling over 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. Just being remarkably well behaved about it until probably the second half of the race when people want to start flooring it. Down behind though, Voucher has got ahead of and staying ahead of Bracalo, who's ahead of Palm. Busy fending off the Murus. I'm going to go to the doctor and say I've got a nasty case of the Murus, but I think that's what Martin Palm may well be having very shortly. As they cross the start-finish line, and he's going to be under attack from all corners. Palm could do with this 8th place, to be fair. He's had a rough ride of it so far in the opening 2 rounds. That's Randy running out ride, Runu going through. And he stays 11, and Wenzel is in 12th now, and under attack by Miles Dixon, who suddenly found form for Cookie Monster Racing. He was the slowest man in practice. He goes clean round the outside of Wenzel. I think Wenzel must have some kind of steering problem or something, because he's not confident at all. Yeah, Miles Dixon, slowest in practice, the slowest of the main group in qualifying, 12th here at the moment, doing a good job. Well done. I know we take the mick quite a lot, but that's because he's always in the wall. Thankfully he's not doing it. James Kirk in the pits for repairs from 25th position, as is Stuart Fleming from 26th. Methinks there's a story running there. So we'll see what happens. Muru now Rainer Rum 4.5 seconds clear from Abbas, Stanky Vicious. Vierock's round Spoljaric, and there's contact between the pair as they exit the first chicane on lap 11 of 20, and Vierock up to 4, and that looks like there's problems with Aeneas once again. And that's Martin Palm, who's been Muru'd. The pair of them get through down at the first hairpin. Oh, Palm loses it all of his own accord. Just going in too hot and spins the car round to face the exit, basically. So that didn't work out at all well for Martin Palm. Bracalo now all over Mark Voucher. Oh, Stanky Vicious is past Ehab Abbas, is he? For 2nd and 3rd. Side by side they go. Sorry for the epileptic jumping about. But yes, Stanky Vicious and Abbas side by side for 2nd position. What can the Turret Motorsport Osiris driver do? Denied 2 wins so far this evening. Can he try and make this his first go at it? Down the inside of Abbas. Abbas likes... Oh, look at Lucas Gebrielascus. Did Spoliaric hit him? No, he managed to call back inside. Gebrielascus parked in the car into turn 1. Oh, and is it? Ah! I thought his teammate, of all people, was going to crash into him, but he just clicks out in time. Lucas Gebrielascus then out of the 3rd round. It's been an unfortunate end to retirements from 3 starts there for Lucas. So, nil point for him. Eurovision-esque. So, Room still leading now by 5.7 seconds from Stankiewicz, who's got round Ehab Abbas. Virok is still there, as is Spoliaric. Valja, Bracalo. Oh, Bracalo goes around the outside of Valja into the final hairpin. That was a good move. Clean as well. Then you've got Rainer Mura and Randu Mura. Martin Palm getting back round Thomas and Ewis. Carlo Williamson out has just left the game as well. That's an old news. Someone's in the pits. Who was that leaving the pits? Oh, it's James Kirk back in again. That's why. Down into the hairpin, or out of the hairpin. And Mark Valja has held off the Murus for 789. But no sooner have those lots stopped their squabbling for at least the next 10 seconds. The battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. Kick back up again and look at Virok taking a dive bomb down. Abbas just gets out of the way from it. He says no thanks. Ah! Stankiewicz has gone round all of his own accord there. Just under pressure. No. He's been hit by Abbas because Abbas... Oh, good driving there by Abbas. Well, not really because he caused the accident, but he stops and lets Stankiewicz through, costing them both there. Spoliaric suddenly moves up into 2nd. He's under attack though by Henry Virok. The pair of them, Estonia, wants a team 1-2. Spoliaric keeps the inside line. Look at that perfectly spinning bonnet of Gebrielascus down at turn 1. Beautifully does it. If that was some kind of gymnastic Rivnik award, it would get a gold medal, I'm sure. Muru is still 7.2 now, clear of Spoliaric and Virok. Stankiewicz 4. Abbas, Bracalo, Valja, Muru, Palm, Aeneas, Dixon. Buselis has got past Wenzel. Wenzel's car quite clearly broken. Then Amance, Brewster, McLaughlin, Robertson, Hans-Peter Mead and Joseph, your point scorers. Is that bad? But yeah, Carlo's through on Valja for 6th and 7th positions. Look at Virok though. He's up on Spoliaric once again as they cross the line to start lap 15 of 20. The final furlongs, as it were. What can he do? He's going to the outside this time, and he's committed to it. Spoliaric goes into the inside as they run round the dancing debris. But Spoliaric just parks his car beautifully on the exit. Just basically blocks poor old Henry and says, no, you're not coming through there, my friend. As Miles Dixon has got... Where is that? Changing of position. Oh, it's Palm retaking an Aeneas, that's what. And Dave Robertson getting round Hans-Peter Mead for 18th and 19th. That will do him. Still running out of the points, Kevin Buddy, Tyrone Frith, Paul Gardner. Still yet to be lapped as well. Stuart Fleming a lap down and James Kirk 2 laps down. So still 25 runners and riders running. And here comes Virok once again on Spoliaric as he comes across the line. And he goes, well, extremely defensive. Virok only has the outside to go. What will Spoliaric do this time? Can he kind of park his car on the apex? Indeed he does. They meet in the middle slightly, but he just basically bounces Virok off like some kind of bouncy castle and says, no, I'm alright, thanks. And continues on. Abbas and Bracalo side by side for 5 and 6. Abbas holds it for now. Abbas is now basically bottle corking Valja, the 2 Murus. Palm is going to join onto that with an Aeneas as well once he's been given half a second to breathe. And you've got a good 3-second gap back to the Dixon and Buselis battle. As what's Abbas doing on Bracalo again side by side out of the final turn. Going to pick back to Virok to see what he's doing on Spoliaric though. As they cross the line, he's practically pushing the car around. This time Virok wants the inside line. Spoljaric goes so defensive that there's nowhere to go, and again just pushes off Virok to the outside. Stops on the apex. Beautiful defending driving there by Borna. This is why he is the champion of the reigning variety. And is that Valja and Abbas once? No, it's Valja and Muru side by side. So reigning Muru not able to get through and has to watch out for his old brother, as they all smack into the barrier on the exit there in the battle for 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. As Spoljaric again has to defend. And Virok out of the final turn, but he's a little bit shoddy on the exit. Around the final kink, Virok basically having to push the guys home as Baselis takes Dixon for 12 and 13, but he retakes it off screen. Side by side, Virok pulls out. Spoljaric all the way to the very edge of the inside line. Virok thinking about just trying to go push back through, and that's the widest Borna's taken that corner. Watch out for Stankiewicz. You can see him in the green car just taking advantage. Oh, there's carnage. Aneus has completely missed turn 1. Spin turning round and rejoining as Dixon and Baselis go toe-to-toe in there as well. But yeah, Aneus has a go at Palm, completely outbrakes himself because they make contact. Palm just about makes the corner. Aneus does a pretty little spin turn and gets back going again, but the out-kart driver now firmly in 11th for the next lap or two, at least, as Spoljaric and Virok once again. Virok pokes his nose through, but Spoljaric has the inside. Just cuts him off on the exit. He's putting his car in all the right places. Beautiful driving here by Spoljaric as they cross the line once again to start lap 19 of 20. Stankiewicz keeping a watching brief. Spoljaric does his age-old trick, but this time Virok is much further up the road, and he's going to try and drive all the way around the outside. This is the closest Virok has got so far. He's pushing around the outside. He's going to have the inside line for the next turn. Stankiewicz nearly goes off in the background there, and Virok has it. It took him a few laps to set that one up, but he yoinks it through there. Who's that off the track? It's Thomas Aneus down at turn 1 again as Dixon and Baselis go through. So Aneus down to 13th. Valja's dropped down to 10th position. So Palm up to 9. This all helping up various people, but it's a Team Estonia 1-2 at the moment as James Kirk dives out of the way from the leading lot as he gets lapped for his 3rd time this evening. Paul Gardner's now also gone a lap down too as we start our final lap with Reino Room 10 seconds clear. He's been absolutely perfect so far. One last time for Borna to see what he can do. He's going to stick it up the inside, I think. No, he's going to change tack, go for the outside, cut right across. Virok keeps the old... good move. Just runs right the way out to the outside, covers off all the lines, runs back across to take his normal racing line, and does it quite well. And maybe one final snifter down into the last hairpin. Martin Palm's got round Reinu Muru for 8th and 9th, so that's worked out well. And there's a free wide between Amance, Brewster and Wenzel for 14, 15, 16. That will all end in tears potentially as Reino Room comes round to win the 3rd round. It's a 1-2-3 victories for Team Estonia, but Room grabs this one by an amazing 10-second streak. We barely saw anything of him, and that's because he was romping it away. Virok keeps 2nd for a 1-2 for Team Estonia. Well done to them. Torrent Motorsport 3 for Simonskins for Spoljaric. Stankiewicz 4 for Osiris. Bracalo grabs 5 for Mobile, so a complete tricolor there. Ehab Abbas 6th position. Random Muru 7. Martin Palm 8. He needed that. Reino Muru 9. Mart Valja comes home 10. Miles Dixon a superb 11th there. Well done there for the Cookie Monster Racing team. I believe he may well have just won Division 2. There, actually, Miles Dixon. Hats off for the Cookie. Art Kart Racing, 12th position in the form of Thomas Aneus. He spent just as much time backwards as it was forwards. Titus Baselis the same for Intrepid Kart Technology, 13. Marvin Amance 14. There's an independent. Cameron Brewster 15 for the Sixth Axis Racing, beating home Mirko Wenzel, who just faded off all race with that damaged front end. Lee McLaughlin 17 for the Sixth Axis Racing. Dave Robertson points for Team Core in 18th, they were needed. Hans-Peter Mead just the 2 points there. Well, not really, but down in 19th there. Paul Joseph 20th, the Union Motorsport International. Kevin Buddy Williamson GP, then Tyrone Frith, Paul Gardner, Stuart Fleming, James Kirk 3 ups down. Your retirements, Gabriel Escus and Williamson and James Ross. And my goodness me, that was the classic end to a classic nights of entertainment here on simrace.tv. You come and join us next time, 8:15 UK time, for the round 7, which is going to be at Autopolis. My name's Simon Smith. Thanks to Simon Melhuish on cameras. You lot take care. We'll see you soon. Toodles for now.
She's crazy like a fool.